So let me ask you a question and please keep it 100. Are you willing to do anything to make your visions or goals a reality? Like cheat, steal, kill, or maybe give your body in exchange for money? What are you willing to do to make it a reality this year? Now, this is often a question I ask myself. Some people will say, well, how bad do you want it? I want it bad. I really do want to start living the life I've imagined for myself for so many years. So I get it when there seems to be no other options in creating the life you've always wanted for yourself a reality. The reality is that sometimes compromising who you are and your integrity becomes your only option. And in the vein of being transparent, I have contemplated things that have not honored God or His purpose for my life, and I've had to repent for having such thoughts. When I contemplated compromising my integrity, I was at the lowest point of my life. But for some reason, God kept me. It might have been all the prayers my mom has prayed and the ones I've prayed when my eyes were fixed on God. I don't quite know why He kept me from going through with the path of compromising. But one thing I know is that not compromising is better than compromising. If you look at Joseph, he was truly a man of integrity. I mean, can you imagine being betrayed by your family as a teenager, all because they were jealous of you? That's the worst, right? They sold him and he had to pick up the pieces of his life. He ends up at a governor's home in Egypt as a slave, but he's such a man of integrity that the governor puts all his trust in Joseph to lead his home. While leading the governor's home, the governor's wife thinks Joseph has a lot of riz, right? I mean, who wouldn't? He's God-fearing and physically attractive. I get it, but sis needed to exercise the fruit of the spirit called self-control. But she didn't, so she accused Joseph of essay. The thing is, she had tempted Joseph so many times and of course, offering him benefits that could transform his life. But his answer never wavered from no. He never compromised on his morals just to get ahead. And you know what keeps me in awe of Joseph is that even though he was overseeing his master's house, he was still a slave. And I'm sure she would have freed him if he had given in to her request. You know, I often wondered if Joseph had compromised, would that dream of him being second in command in Egypt ever come true? Joseph had every opportunity to compromise, but he chose to be the example of a man that God is with and a man that God prospered even as a slave. I believe when we compromise who we are as children of God to make the dreams God has given us a reality, and the key word is God has given us the dream. It no longer becomes the dream God has given us. It becomes what we want for ourselves. Because now we're in charge, making deals when God told us not to take the deal, or start talking to an ex when God showed you he's an ex for a reason, but you want to create the outcome the way you want it, or should I say, the time you want it. As I say this, I'm also speaking to myself. Let's truly trust God's timing. God will give you the next steps. All you have to do is seek His counsel. And if you're still waiting on Him to speak, just do the next best thing. Remember to submit your goals to Him and watch how He works your path to bring it to existence. Yeah, Joseph's path was rough. He ended up in jail for something he didn't do. His youth was wasted in prison. Yet, Joseph said it best in Genesis 50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. Your goals becoming a reality is a chain reaction to transform someone else's life. But when you compromise, it becomes contaminated, and God can no longer use it to glorify His name or use it to transform someone else's life. So what should we do, y'all? Again, we fix our eyes on Him. We submit to His will just like Christ did. And trust me, it's not easy, but we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, right? My prayer for us is that God will give us a heart of total surrender, that we will truly surrender every zone of our lives to God to do what only Him can do, because we trust Him and trust that nothing, absolutely nothing can separate us from His love for us. So, what will you trust Him for this year? Thank you for listening. Until next time, be kind to yourself and be kind to others.